Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back to another episode of I Still Call It a Lariat, and today we're reviewing 2026 Elimination Chamber. I'm your host, Michael Wright, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Zapf. Steven, how are we doing today?
Oh man, let's talk about Elimination Chamber and an event that we probably should have guessed better.
Yeah, I mean, 50%, and the two that we got wrong were ones that had five individuals in it. Six individuals?
Whew.
Six individuals.
Not to mention some very nice, very evil surprises.
Hey, surprise housings.
Surprise housing.
Let's kick it off. Steven, what was your favorite part of this outside of the surprise housings?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Punk Balor. I think that was a strong match. I think that match was everything I wanted it to be. It was good. It was two guys that went out there and had a wrestling match. They had a normal, run-of-the-mill, athletic, strong, hard-hitting wrestling match for the World Heavyweight title. And that's what I wanted out of those two guys. So them not going above and beyond what I wanted isn't disappointing in this case because they gave me exactly what I wanted.
No, they couldn't either. There's no risking the greatest main event of WrestleMania history, or so I'm told. Brought to you by the greatest commentator of all times, coming to you now from the greatest wrestling podcast of all times, because it seems that if you just say those things out loud, that's just the reality.
That makes it real.
It drives me crazy on the way they're handling that. I hate the way they prop up Michael Cole in that way as well, calling him the GOAT while he's still doing it. He's fantastic. I'm not here to put him down. Stop calling him the GOAT. Stop calling this match the greatest WrestleMania match of all times. We're overinflating these things when WrestleMania is the pinnacle of all of this stuff. It's like when Raw came to Netflix, they said, this is the biggest moment, even bigger than WrestleMania 1. Stop it.
No, it's not.
Stop. Just stop it. And
don't forget, it's the start of a new era, too.
Oh, it definitely is a start. It's a era housing. Is it?
Era housing. I did like the exchange between Mr. Surprise and Triple H, where he put on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, I can't wait to play the game housing.
I just love putting housing at the end of everything. I'm in. That one I'm in on.
I'm in.
We'll get into that aspect of things. It just drives me crazy. Stop fluffing yourself here, and particularly in situations where it's not the case. The idea that CM Punk and Roman Reigns is going to have the best main event at WrestleMania history is crazy. Listen, those guys are fantastic, but the stakes are nowhere near the stakes that other matches have had. Maybe it is even the most entertaining match of all times. If they put on a banger, which both of them are capable of, that's cool. And we have that there. But to the epicness of Hogan Andre, which we talked when we did our review of the top WrestleMania matches, I did not rank that high in matches. We never did moments. Number one moment. I don't know what I would put above it.
I mean, any of the Rock Austin stuff.
Yeah, there's
Austin winning the title the first time at Mania.
There's so much of it. The Bret Hart versus Stone Cold, where they do the double turn. There's just so many things that had so much built into it, so much storyline. You got a part-time wrestler, which is another problem, and you have CM Punk, who's doing great. He's a fantastic champion. He's putting on good matches. He's there. He's cutting great promos. all of that is. Parts of the problem with this match that we're going to get into is all of the part-timers. It needs to stop. I need you there to build this up. And let's get into the first one, because here's my problem with the women's Elimination Chamber match. First, it was a solid Elimination Chamber match. The Elimination Chamber, let's be real, folks, is not the same Elimination Chamber as it once was. It is not the deadliest the thing that's ever been seen, the thing that where you expect people to be crippled after they come out of it. It's a fancy cage match. That's all it is. It's a fancy cage match where people come in and out every so often, which is cool. It's entertaining. I like it, but it's not what it once was. It's not what it was built to be. My biggest problem with this is zero builds for this match. It was a swell wrestling match. These women are talented. I enjoyed it at face value. If I was a fan that didn't watch anything else and I just jumped into this match, I probably wouldn't have much complaints with it. But I'm not. Kind of host a wrestling podcast with this guy, or I don't know where you are.
I'm on your other side right now. On this moment,
it's always on the opposite side, and so. There was just no, it felt like no stakes. It was just a number one contenders match for WrestleMania, which is high, but that's it. No storylines going into this, no feuds, like no nothing. Like it really is a head scratcher. And honestly, I think they took away better matches from us by having Rhea win this. Like I wanted to see her stay with Io and go into that tag team champions going into WrestleMania. And I get it. You know what? You're nervous about Jade, because I think they are. And you didn't want to do Tiffany and Jade again, because last time it was a little botchy. So let's bring in, the number one women's wrestler in the world right now, Rhea Ripley, and have her carry that match. But, if you're building up Jade as this monster who doesn't defend the title, she feels like a part, and I know she's around. And what, 3 defenses of that title?
Something like that, yeah. I have some issues with this match just in general. One, I agree with you what you were saying about the build for the match, what we're doing. I also agree. I was going to bring up the fact that you're putting Rhea Ripley in there because I like Tiffany Stratton. I love Tiffany Stratton, actually. I think she's a phenomenal talent. I like Jade Cargill. I think she has come a long way in a couple years with the WWE that she wasn't at with AEW. And this is not my time that I'm bashing AEW. I'm just saying she is further along now because of, if nothing else, reps than she was 3 years ago. With that said, I kind of thought this when you and I spoke before the event, just before the event, basically, that Rhea Ripley losing the tag team titles was kind of an obvious foreshadow that she might be winning the chamber now. And the more you think about it, yeah, it's because I like Tiffany Stratton and I like Jade, but neither one of them are true ring generals and neither one of them can lead the match for the other one. And the proof is that when we did these matches, neither one of them could lead the match. And that was only, let's not act like this was a year ago. This was like 3 months ago. Mm-hmm. So that's where my issue is with the build here. My issue with the match.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that too.
Yeah, the match itself. There was a lot of stuff in this match, which is every reason that I get mad at some of the women's gimmick matches. A lot of stuff was very rushed. They rushed to the next spot. Let me say how I'm saying this.
I didn't say anything.
I know that you had that look. They felt like they rushed to the next spot, and even experienced people, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, they got jumbled in each other. And these are people who, again, Rhea Ripley's not the best women's wrestler in the world. Rhea Ripley's one of the top wrestlers in the world. Let's call it what it is. It's one of the things I do agree with Michael Cole on.
I called her the best women's wrestler.
Yeah.
I feel like that helps with that one.
Exactly. And I'll agree with Michael Cole on this one. If you look at Superstar, Rhea Ripley is the definition of one. She is one of the biggest stars on any wrestling brand or any company in the world right now. Doesn't matter where you put her, she'd be a top attraction. With that said, I just felt like a lot of stuff during this whole match felt very, I hate using the word botch because it's not necessarily a botch. It was just jumbled. They got jumbled up in each other. They got tangled.
So I don't think I really noticed it all that much. Like, it was there, and and these are like the chamber matches are never clean. And I don't want to say you're nitpicking by any means because I don't think you necessarily are, but I don't know. That didn't hang at the men's match. There was a clear botch, but yeah,
yeah. And there was some laughter afterwards.
There sure was. So here's my bigger problems with this match, because it didn't make sense to me in certain areas. And I don't know if it's necessarily the people that were in the match, but the actual producers behind it. Because I think they did Alexa dirty. Sure, she gets missed, but she gets knocked out quick, kind of on the first couple minutes of it. Then I know it's more almost everybody's in. I think all of a sudden I start questioning things the way Raquel comes into this match, like a beast, and just starts dominating people. Double pins Kiana and Asuka. Should I call her Asuka? Or Asuka. I got it right this time. The first time. That's all. I just want to call back, guys.
It's because you're feeling better.
I am feeling a little bit better. I'm still coughing a little bit. You still hear my voice. My raspy voice is even raspier. But double pin of Asuka and Kiana, but then just a simple prettiest moonsault pins her, and then she's out. It just went out like a poof.
And not even the real prettiest moonsault. She didn't hit the springboard or anything. It was just a moonsault.
Did a moonsault.
It's really just a moonsault at that point. I think, and I agree with you on that.
How it all broke down like that. Like it was like we want everyone to feel strong, but you can't do that. Everyone can't look strong. Like, someone's got to be stronger than everybody else.
No, and I think as far as making people look strong in this, having Kiana start this was a big thing. Having Kiana and Tiffany start this, and Kiana having a good showing. She did, and I think she did. We said she was going to have a great showing, and I thought she worked very well during this. I agree with you on the double pin. One of my things, though, is also having Alexa go out. I don't know. Maybe I would have had them do the double pin before Alexa even. I'm trying to figure out here where we could have done this better. I actually like the double pin, but Alexa Bliss going out so early still hurts me. And it could be the fact that I'm admittedly not the hugest fan of Asuka. So I would have liked her to stick around longer.
The double pin makes sense if Raquel wins this match. Because now you're building a monster that can go toe to toe with Jade, who has that sense. You really built her up to, I'm like, oh, she's gonna tear some bitches up here, and her going over cleanly on Rhea in this match after a double pin. She is a force to be reckoned with, and we're in that spot to really, really get things going, and then she gets beat like a freaking fart in the wind.
I also think that, sake of argument, Raquel still doesn't win. We go with the finish that we were going to go with, that Rhea wins this. If Raquel gets the double win, the double pin, like she does, and then Rhea essentially eliminates the other two cleanly. And those two, and it needs to be kind of on a quicker scale too at that point. If Rhea eliminates Alexa and then eliminates Tiffany, and then and Rhea and Raquel then get a banger of like 5 minutes out, like after all that, like they just go to war for 5 more minutes and really just wow the crowd, wow us at home. Even if Raquel doesn't go over at that point, that kind of still holds a little bit of water there, because you can say, all right, well, she got the double pin, she eliminated two, Rhea eliminated two, and then they went to war, and that could have gone either way.
Sure.
I think,
or you have Tiffany and Rhea both team up to take down Raquel because she's out of control.
Exactly.
Okay. There's just ways to get there. And I was getting really frustrated with this match in general because it wasn't really telling any stories. It was missing every story beat. And like the talent in the ring were great. Like I thought that they did a pretty good job of this. Sure, there was a couple of little misses here, and I hear you, but really just confused, and it felt so forced. Like Triple H and his long-term storytelling, that's out the window. Now it's just rush, lose title, get in chamber, get world title match.
Hope no one gets injured.
No, they'll never know. They'll never know. You know what they also will never know is a 3.5 hour PLE with an hour and 20 minutes of matches. Like,
listen, just in general right now, everything that they are doing, this is a prime example of why the WrestleMania ticket sales are the way they are. I know we don't like to bash on, we don't like to go down the negative all the time. But the fact of the matter is, WrestleMania sales are down right now. They're not where they should be. Part of it is crappy. They do not have the best stories and angles that they've ever had.
Oh.
Half of their main event scene is injured. The other half is part-time. And then you got Cody. And then the last person is Cody. That's it. That's what you have. You got Cody and Drew, basically. But like all the people that you could be pushing towards the main event are injured or part-time, or, I'm sorry, CM Punk, for me saying like this, effing old. He's almost 50. Punk is almost 50.
Is he 48, 49?
Something like that, 47, 48. He's close. You got no one that is in the world title picture right now, either world title picture, is what could be considered young. They are all dance around 40 right now, if not 40. I don't know. It's just everything that's going along with this. Again, going back to Vegas is a bad idea. Jacking up ticket sales is a bad idea. Everything that they're doing is the opposite of what they should be doing right now.
It also has to be, and I haven't been to a live event in a minute, but it has to be a terrible experience. Like, you're in these giant stadiums, so it's hard to see to begin with, but you get past that. You can feed off the energy of the crowd. But the amount of time this match was of I think it was like an hour and a half of matches and over 3 hours of runtime, like that's like a half hour in between each match, just so I can watch Cody selling vodka in the middle of it. Like it just, and trust me, like I appreciate the advertising stuff. I understand you got to make your money, but like you're doing it at the expense of your product, and that never works out in the long run. And so it's just a little frustrating. And that's what brings me to the next match with Becky versus AJ. I'm going to cut to the chase. AJ won exactly the way we thought she was going to win. She tapped out Becky. We called that. I think that we're going to get, I didn't watch Raw, so I might be a little bit, I know a couple things that happened, but I'm assuming that we're going to get Becky versus AJ at WrestleMania in an I Quit match, a submission match, whatever they decide to go with. I hope it's submission. You
can't just have a submission match nowadays.
No,
that's not a thing. That was never a thing. It's not like that's been around for, I don't know, 50 years.
I love the idea of a submission match that's not no DQ. You just can't pin somebody. You have to get them to tap out. But whatever. This match had so much potential, and Michael Cole even set it up really, really nicely. Of it's like been 10 years since AJ's had a singles match. It's like we're in a situation where AJ has always been kind of like a ring technician, but has to shake off that ring rust. Becky's the top of the top in this. Like if anyone can give Rhea a run for her money for the best female wrestler in the world, it's Becky, and that's why I still think about the Becky versus Rhea Mania match. That match was so good.
When Becky had 113,000 degree fever.
Yeah, she did. It was and Rhea, she wasn't even there. It was wild. She
wasn't even there.
And so what I would like to have seen is AJ having to really like scramble to get out of trouble, or like just tell the story. The problem is this build for this match wasn't very good. Like it's Becky being distracted by all these other mini feuds that are just filler feuds, and AJ's been nowhere to be seen at all, and it hurt the match. I think it hurt the match in a big way.
I also think something that hurts this feud, especially this part of the feud, because this should be a very, very personal feud. And I'm not going to get I'm not going to get into the character assessment of things. I'm not going to talk about AJ skipping, things like that. That's not where I'm going with this.
No,
I'm actually going to get into, I know the Jessica Carr thing could be a cool little feud that Becky has over on the side, but I really feel like constantly bringing it up during this supposedly very personal feud with Becky and AJ Lee is taking away from Becky and AJ Lee. Like, no offense to Jessica Carr, I've seen some of her past work. I've seen some of her stuff on the indies. I've seen how much her fitness journey has come along. Like she's dropped a ton of weight. She's in great shape. All of those things. She can work as a wrestler. But currently, if you look at the current WWE universe, if you will, they don't know that Jessica Carr, was a professional wrestler before all of this. Like, there's very few WWE fans, not to bash them, but they watch WWE. They don't necessarily watch pro wrestling. So they aren't smart to that part of the business, that she was an indie wrestler and that she's young enough to still be a wrestler and that she's in shape to be a wrestler. Like, they don't follow her on social media and stuff like that. So this constant throwing Jessica Carr into the mix of, Fast Count Carr is in there again, I kind of don't care. And that's
I do like the fact, like, Becky's 0-6 with her in the ring. I think it is like it's some wild number, and I like that storyline for Becky. It really fits, and like it feels like they're out to get her, and then she talks about that all the time. I love all of that stuff. I really do like it, and all of your complaints are easily gone if this match this feud is heated enough. Like, it would be, yeah, these guys hate each other. It's a blood feud. And on top of that, Jessica Carr is out to get Becky. Like, it would just be an add-on, not a, not kind of a story beat, where
I agree.
It's just lacking the story beats in this match. And that makes that feel bigger in the grand scheme of things, because the feud here isn't big enough. AJ's tapped Becky out 4 times now.
That's what I'm saying. And
twice in this match.
And what's more is her doing this, kind of what you said, this feud doesn't feel heated enough to begin with. But also, on the other side of things, the Becky and Jessica Carr feud also does not feel heated enough. This, if I need Jessica Carr to not be so docile during the matches, she's just taking abuse from Becky the whole time. Even if you go back the old Earl Hebner days, Earl would push Triple H, and that's a man that's 4 times his size. So, and
800 years younger.
Yeah, and 800 years younger, you know. So you need I don't know if you need Becky up in Jessica Carr's face, if you need Jessica Carr to, if this wasn't a tap out and Jessica Carr actually fast counted Becky out, I think that would help at least that aspect of things. Again, I'm just spitfiring on this one, but it's just everything. I said this on the preview. I felt like this feud felt a little off. And the Becky AJ feud felt a little off. The Becky Jessica Carr, it just feels like it's like I love the fact that it's manufactured by Becky, but also I would like it to be something where this had some real teeth to it.
And I knew where you're going originally. The AJ Becky feud, this should be a blood feud at this point in time. Like they started out that way, and then just AJ not being around hurt that. And I don't know if it's because she's on a part-time schedule or if it's or what they're thinking, but this is a major women's title that this feud has been centered around. It just kind of wasted it. Wasted it with all this extra other stuff going on around it, where this should have been the focal point. I love seeing Maxine Dupree get the push that she's been getting. It didn't need to be at the expense of the women's intercontinental title and this feud, because this is the one that should be being built for WrestleMania. Now there's an open challenge. I saw this. There's an open challenge for a number one contender for the women's intercontinental championship, and Becky's not a part of it.
I don't get it. Becky comes down in a mask.
Maybe.
Wins
Black
the match.
hoodie?
Jessica Carr comes down in the mask again, like she wrestled the one match for NXT. Wins the match. Becky gets even more mad. Now I'm in. Now all of a sudden I'm in at that point.
And I will say also, the having Becky tap twice, it's a big rub to give AJ there without knowing what the follow-up is. So that's all. Like this whole show felt like it was kind of like booked blindfolded, or however you want to say it, or it just, I don't know.
I mean, I think it kind of, to a point, I think it was. I don't know if I used the term snake bit originally or not, but I mean, the entirety of the original 3 members of the Vision technically are out on injury at the start of this show. You know, like, your plan was to have Seth and Braun and Bronson be this massive heel just faction that just bulldozed people, and they should have been. This should have been a matter of Braun Breaker winning the Elimination Chamber to get Seth Rollins. This should have been Evolution breaking up because Batista went after Triple H. This should have been of that level, and everything about it. Again, how many people are out? And the scary part is the people that are out on the WWE side of things in pro wrestling, they're out doing kind of not the most dangerous stuff in the world. You can say Seth did that coast to coast, and that was kind of dumb.
It was a big move.
But Braun and Bronson, they weren't doing anything. Like, I know how heavy the announce tables are, and I get it.
Well, he was already injured before that. He was nursing that hernia for a while, and that was...
And they said that just, like, destroyed it. But, I mean, realistically, Bronson Reed, he didn't do anything.
A pin.
He was bringing up a pin. And, we could say that maybe he had some type of minor tear before that he didn't know about. You know, who knows? But and it wasn't even the arm he landed on when he broke up the pin. It was the other arm. That's insane. So, and all these other guys that are out on injury right now, the guys that you would like to be in the main event picture, I would love to find out that tomorrow or on Friday night that everything gets broken up because Kevin Owens comes back. That'd be amazing. But I don't see that happening. Bianca Belair is still out. She just had surgery, it sounds like. Like, what?
Yeah.
All these people are... So many of these people are out hurt, and they have to scramble now.
Bianca wasn't in the box.
She was not in the box. What's in the box?
But that was after the CM Punk match, right? The box.
I believe that was after the CM Punk match.
So let's get the Punk and Balor best match of the night.
Easily.
To recap a little bit, you and I had Tiffy winning the chamber match. I see how Rhea winning. I feel like that was telegraphed. We should have saw it coming. She still had, when we made our picks, she still had the tag team titles. We didn't expect her to lose them then. I could see a path, like Monday morning quarterback. Both had AJ winning that match. There was no way around it. We both called the tap out. So, and then we have CM Punk and Finn Balor. So, Steven, for your match of the night.
I love this match. This was, first of all, Finn Balor coming back out to his old music, not Judgment Day music, is automatically a big up for me. I said that this might be more of the cracks in the Judgment Day. I know we've been saying cracks in the Judgment Day for what feels like 2 years now, but this feel
never breaking up.
This kind of feel, I don't think, and it's not even a matter of they're breaking up. It feels like Balor is just not going to be in the Judgment Day anymore. And that's more what I'm going with. They had the handshake at the end. They actually went through with a handshake. No one attacked anybody.
Mm-hmm.
No one got involved in Balor's match. This was a good, clean wrestling match. And, you know, I've gone on record as saying Punk in ring was never the best in the world. I don't care what anyone says. Punk in ring now is definitely not there. But this match was still solid. It made sense. Everything they did worked. No one looked out of place. It looked like a struggle. It looked like a fight. It was two athletes fighting over the world heavyweight title. This made this title feel important, even though this match is kind of getting looked past. Mm-hmm. And I know you and I had said this, I would have loved for Finn Balor to have this match. I would have loved for him to screw up the WrestleMania main event. Everything about that would have been amazing.
It would be so good.
It would have been so good. And then you really get it. And then what happens the rest of the week actually kind of makes sense, because then you've got a little dirty guy that's in his group that now wants to go after the world heavyweight title afterwards. And I think that would be amazing. That's the perfect way to break this whole thing up, or to break him off, is, well, he thinks he's the leader because he's the world champion, but I'm dirty Dominic Mysterio.
He had multiple titles until he was cursed.
And I don't know how long that curse is going to last, because that curse, that might get him banned out of Mexico.
Cursehausened. So my this was a great, solid match. My biggest complaint is what we always complain about in wrestling. You need to be able to suspend disbelief. They booked this telegraphing CM Punk was going to win. We didn't even in the match, it wasn't a situation where I thought Finn was close.
No, I get it. Him hitting the coup de grace is supposed to be that spot that you think he's going to do it. And I'm like, I still don't. I think Punk's going to kick out of that, which also goes with my whole, I hate people kicking out of finishers, but whatever.
They're not finishers. And they do it so often now that outside of the Haluva kick, what else is that sacred at this point in time?
An RKO, maybe.
RKOs? Yeah.
RKO.
Only Randy's.
Only Randy's RKO, the Haluva kick, the Oblivion.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you the Oblivion.
I would say Rhea's Riptide.
But
maybe
someone kicked out of that recently, didn't they?
But overall, it's like one kick out over X amount of years. It was probably a bigger match too. Right. Has anyone kicked out of Tiffy's moonsault? I don't think they have. I think that's I think overall that's a protected move too. But again, 4 or 5 out of 4 or 5 dozen.
Mm-hmm. It's just not like Cody doing 3 crossroads in a row, which
That's
is
the finish.
a shame. Which is a shame because I think the crossroads is the coolest looking finisher. Like
it's such a cool move.
I love it. I used to do a kind of a turning stunner. I was this close to coming up with the crossroads. I was this close to inventing.
How many times have I said that if you were still wrestling, you would have been Cody Rhodes?
Yeah, like it was so close to it. It was
you'd have had that big gaudy jacket on that he wears. It just would have been green and orange.
I took you like the reverse DDT, and I just kind of turned this way instead of this way,
instead of just going all the way over.
Yeah, it's man, it's this close. What could have been?
That's what held us back, right? That was why we didn't make it.
Man, oh man. But I agree. I really enjoyed this match. I did watch a good portion of it in Spanish because ESPN's the worst. And so I was watching ESPN and I pressed the button on accident, couldn't get back into the show. ESPN posts all of the news about this show all over their app. So the whole thing was ruined for me. Actually, it might have been the Becky AJ match that I watched partially in Spanish. And so I knew won everything. I was like, this isn't come on, guys, there's got to be a better way to not spoil it during the show. It's
I don't know why, but I just picture you looking at this like Brendan Fraser and Encino Man, saying, where's the bathroom? The cheese is old and moldy.
Yeah, it was. I went full on Zoolander. The files are in the computer as I'm just smashing stuff. It's not a good look. And it was just frustrating. It was just my mad face and the whole time because I'm trying to scroll through everything and not get ruined. And I'm like, well, there's a huge surprise missed. So, speaking of huge surprises,
what's in the box?
What's in the box?
It was kind of nice to hear Busted Open do the whole 7 thing the whole time too. Even he was just every time they talked about what's in the box.
The funny thing is, there was a lot in that box.
There was a lot in that box.
There was a lot in that box.
There was a coffin in that box. Inside the coffin, there was 6 or 10 dancers, something like that. Which, does that mean that the coffin is actually a gateway to a different dimension? The
housing?
The dimension housing. The house in dimension?
No, it has to go at the end.
Dimension housing.
Dementhausen?
The dim housing?
We'll do this all day, guys. I'm sorry.
Sorry. And then, of course, very nice, very evil.
He gave Michael Cole some teeth.
Yeah, Danhausen. He gave Michael Cole some teeth. That's.
So I'll admit I'm a little unfamiliar with Danhausen.
Okay, so it's not hard to be unfamiliar with Danhausen because over the course of his AEW career, first of all, he hasn't been on television in almost 500 days. Secondly, during his 3 or 4 year stint with AEW, he had 4 matches total. That was it. But I also don't understand the idea of keeping him off television for any reason because even injured, his gimmick isn't as much as such where he needs to wrestle. He can just be there. Making people curse, just doing the cursing thing. I don't understand.
Curse.
And I'm a big believer that we need to get Danhausen and R-Truth together. That has to happen yesterday. It needed to happen yesterday. It needed to happen as soon as he was on in front of the box talking about the Papa John's pizza. I was hoping that we were going to get R-Truth first and Danhausen together because that's amazing. I will say this, Danhausen, for anyone who does not know and has not watched any of his interviews with Chris Van Vliet or anything, really, really smart business savvy pro wrestler. He trademarked his face makeup because I guess there was a Magic the Gathering card that kind of looked like him, and he was like, "Nope, we're not gonna play this game."
That game.
Trademarked his name, trademarked like everything about his character or persona, and I'm good for him. Like, that's super smart.
And
he trademarked his face paint before
nuts.
Sting did.
Yeah,
that's telling you something.
What's called? His merch is about to go nuts.
Oh, it's absolutely going to go nuts. And could you imagine the weird stuffed animals they're going to sell, like the plush Danhausen toys they're going to sell to kids?
You mean the Plushhausens?
The Plushhausens. Listen, I understand that what happened at Elimination Chamber fell flat, because it did. Let's face it. He got booed there.
So I think that the booing was a disappointment.
I think it was disappointing. Not
necessarily that he was what was in the box, because he got a pretty good reaction when he came out of the box. But when he kind of walked around, gave those teeth, disappeared in a poof of smoke, I think everyone was like, "Oh, that's it."
I think it's a little bit
that's what was booed.
I think it's a little bit of, "Oh, that's it," and I also think it's a little bit of us as fans speculating too much into the box, because if you look over the last couple of weeks, they actually didn't build the box up that much. They built it up for 2 shows, and then the other shows that they had it on, it was in the background of comedy skits. So you and I, assuming that it was going to be Chris Jericho as well, we did say it. We said it.
I wanted it to be Bianca.
I said
Bianca more than Jericho, but I said Jericho too.
But we own it on the show that we had said during the preview show of this that we thought it was going to either be Jericho or Bianca or someone along those lines, some type of major superstar that was going to be involved in maybe one of the chamber matches. That is on us as well, because we built it up bigger than what they were building it up to be.
We were speculating. I know that the Danhausen rumor was out there as well, that it was him. Like, that was like the 3rd name I had heard. Like, those are only 3 names I heard coming out of the box. I think I heard somebody somewhere say maybe it was Brock, and then going to do an open challenge. But I don't know who's going to fit in that box.
Yeah, he's bigger than the boxes.
But I really do. I really think that the booing, because it came late. It didn't come when he came out of the box. It came when he left and didn't do anything.
That's the thing. Him standing in the middle of the ring and then just being done, like, that was a little and again, that's not on him. He did what he was supposed to do, I think.
Yeah. I think the fact that there was probably a 45-minute wait time between CM Punk and Finn Balor and the men's chambers match, and I get an extra entrance and then nothing more. That I'd boo that too. I don't care who it is. It could have been Bianca. I'd boo that.
I agree. This was, I don't know. Like I said, I like Danhausen. I think
none of this goes towards him.
By the way, I will play spoiler on this one. We are recording this after Raw has already been played. Danhausen cursed Dominic Mysterio and caused Dominic Mysterio to lose the Intercontinental title to Penta.
And in a throwaway match that made no sense whatsoever.
Now, here is my question. Is this going to lead to Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania?
I hope not. Like, no offense towards Danhausen.
No, but I don't think that's a big enough match for what we've built Dominic into.
No, it's what they're going to do now. Now that he doesn't have the IC title, so I don't think it really makes sense for him to face Finn. I think we get Mysterio versus Mysterio for the AAA title. I think this time Dom wins, if that helps. But and maybe it's a retirement or mask match, something big like that.
Mask versus hair
versus title. Oh, I feel like the title, it has its own right. Like, you don't need that. Or like maybe it's mask versus title, career versus hair. Like, where they keep building on each other. Like, you just need a little extra there, I think, in my mind.
It's not even his hair. He puts up the mustache.
No, but it's just one of those things. It just kind of like, I don't know. It took a lot of the air because like we've been big fan of Dom's for a while on the show.
For a while.
And like when he started getting that nuclear heat, like you get that over. That's all it takes for us to be like, all right, we're in. And because that's the game.
We'll
like,
jump on the bandwagon. We are absolutely bandwagon jumpers.
Joe Hendry, we were one of the. I feel like we were one of the first shows that I saw out there talking about Joe Hendry to the degree that we were, because we saw him get over on freaking Spotify. It's like there wasn't anything else.
Yes, he did.
And like the whole goal of wrestling is to get over. It's to make money, of course, but it's to get over. That's how you get in any way, shape, or form. And I don't know if I've ever seen anyone get over in the manner that Dominic has, and how much the fans just love to boo him and then turn them heel. He turned fans heel.
Turned them heel. The only way that anything that they're doing with Dominic works is if Dom wins a world title. And I wouldn't be mad about it, but I'm going to say, I want to say this the right way. I don't think Dom is at the point right now where it makes sense for him to win a world title. I can't see it happening even from between now and SummerSlam, let's say, because that would be like what would be considered the next quarter. You go from WrestleMania to SummerSlam, and in between that, it doesn't make sense. And I can't see it happening at Survivor Series, or between then and Survivor Series. I don't know. And maybe I just don't see where the puzzle is being put together right now, but I can
get you there. I can get you there for SummerSlam.
Oh, I can get us there. The problem is are they gonna get us there?
No, and I don't think so. But here's how you get them there. So also on Raw, when Dom lost his title, Finn said, "Let him win it himself." Like that's how Dom essentially loses the match, because there was no outside interference from Judgment Day. And not so long ago, Dom was like, I don't want to do it myself.
I don't want to do it by myself.
I don't want to do that. That's not who I am. Like, help me. It's not help me help you. It's help me.
We laughed so much when he said it. It's like, I know you said you want to do this all by yourself, but I don't want to.
Well, I don't want to do that. Now, that, in my mind, is setting up Finn to be kicked out of the Judgment Day because he's not a team player. But you can easily spin this and say, Dom, without us, you're nothing. You're a weak link around here. It's time for you to go. And the Judgment Day doesn't break up, but they kick out Dominic Mysterio. And I think if they kick out Dominic Mysterio, that really is the beginning of the end. Like, I don't think this faction stays together without Dom. I think he's just too big of a linchpin. I think they can stay together without Finn. I don't think the other way around.
I agree with that. I think they can stay together without Finn. I don't think they can stay together without Dom.
Yeah, but that happens, and now all of a sudden he has to learn to win by himself. And then he gets an interesting win over Rey Fenix. And he gets an interesting win over one of the Americanas. He gets an interesting win over, let's give him somebody a little bit higher, like, I'm trying to think of who's in that, like over Austin Theory or Logan Paul. Like I'm trying to work my way up the card a little bit. He gets a win over Jey Uso, like clean win over Jey Uso.
I'll tell you exactly who he needs a clean win over. LA Knight.
Yeah.
Without a botch.
But like, you got to work up to it. You can't just like have a clean win over LA Knight.
No, I agree with the way that you're doing it. I could even see him getting a clean win over like JD in that mix. Like, all right, well, look, I'm proving that I can do this now.
And that's how you get him to a point where he potentially gets a win over Drew McIntyre.
Okay. All right. But they're not going to do any of that.
No, they're not going to do that at all. But that's how you get there. And it's pretty easy.
Was that our way of making sure that we didn't have to talk about the men's chamber match? Because we still have to talk about the men's chamber match.
We can talk about the men's chamber match, but I actually have bigger issues with what I think is going to happen next rather than what happened in this match. So this match, again, this was another okay match. Like it was a good chamber match. And it will never go down in the history of chamber matches as one of the best chamber matches. It's just not the same chamber as it once was. And there was no story.
None. Before we get down on this, I'm gonna bring a positive in here.
Great.
Javon Evans is a positive. No matter how we look at this, Javon Evans, everything about Javon Evans is correct. Everything he does is great. Everything he I've yet to see a match for Javon Evans that I'm upset about. It's not just the moves that he does, because he is amazing in the ring athletically. He does things I could never hope to do, ever, at my most athletic. And he can do them. But if you look at kind of how we said, the story beats in between, the little beats that he does in between, the facial expressions, the way he sells all throughout the match. He had that match with Kofi and they worked his knee, and he sold the knee the whole match, because you should. Mm-hmm. And he works perfectly. Javon Evans is right now where Sami Zayn was, I don't know, 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, but I don't think, I believe that Javon Evans is world champion material.
I think Javon
7-8 years ago, I don't think Sammy's there.
No, and I think Javon Evans will be a world champion. That's the thing. Yeah. Is I think it's a matter
Sammy will get the title too. But I think that he did a lot of work to get here, where I don't think Javon's going to need to do as much.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be a matter of, in 3 or 4 years or 5 years. Again, I said this during the preview. Who knows what version of Javon we're actually looking at? Because
100%.
I don't know what he's going to look like at 25. He's 22 right now. And he's amazing. I mean, he's got 0% body fat on him. So if he just gets any type of bigger, it's going to look great. He does a different style of flying than everyone else does. And honestly, with that, the OG cutter that he does, I heard someone else say this, and I agree with them. With him doing that, I think Cody should stop doing the Cody cutter.
That's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. But one of those things where Javon does that so well that and even the way he does it's a little different. He looks like he actually yanks you down when he brings it. It's one thing having Orton do the RKO. That's the RKO. It's a different move.
The diamond cutter.
Yeah. The Cody cutter and the OG cutter are essentially the same move, just one's cooler.
Yeah, one's just bigger. It really is a bigger move. I'll raise your, I'll see your Javon Evans, and I'll raise you another positive here. And honestly, I think I might get some flack for this one. I'm going to give you Logan Paul was fantastic in this match.
I'm not surprised.
And I love that he was just eating pins. First of all, he only heel in this match. Don't tell me Trick Williams is a heel. I saw his entrance. They were singing along with his music, and he was posing for them. That's no heel, my friend. That's no heel. Sure, he's a heel, but so are the fans. Logan, I get it. Not overly excited that he pins Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and LA Knight. Holding down some of the younger talent, gives them the opportunity to really rise above, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. I don't want to, those are all valid points. I'm not trying to dismiss them. But now Logan Paul is the clear leader of the division, I guess, by default.
By default. 2 greatest words in the English language. Default.
And I think that this was the only person who had a story in this match. He was cruising to a victory. And I know no one wants to see him as world champion. No one wants to see him wrestle for the world title at WrestleMania. It's going to happen, but I know that everyone's adverse to it.
Probably in Saudi.
But Seth is gonna have to do something, and now we got a return of Seth Rollins. He was the masked man.
He was the masked man.
Or wasn't the masked man.
Or he's one of the 10 masked men.
Because they're all, like, I had seen when they caught the other guy and took off his mask, it was clear that he was one of Seth Rollins' students. Like,
Yes.
It was, like, all over the internet. And so, like, that's kind of what, it's like his school of hard knocks or whatever you want to call it.
It's his team Taz.
Yeah. And so him coming in, stomping Logan, having him lose the match that way, I think was great. It really did set up a match for Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And honestly, it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be such a good match.
I don't disagree with you. It's just it's a WrestleMania rematch at this point, because they just did this 3 years ago. It's
a rematch, I think.
But I mean, they are in different places now, so it's a little different.
This one has a real story behind it.
I agree with that. You know what? I'm happy Randy Orton won this, because I will say this. If nothing else, we were saying there is no way that WWE is going to subvert expectations, and then they go and subvert expectations.
I did say that for the first match. I was like, if there's any match we're wrong with Tiffany, it's going to be this one.
And I just didn't know who we would go with outside of that, because when we were talking about it originally, like you said, Rhea was still the tag team champion.
Yeah, and it could have been Asuka. It could have been a couple of names, but yeah, this one. I saw this coming because ESPN ruined the final for me.
Here's the real question. Is this, we had said this, or I might have said this, is this the real start of heel Cody?
I don't know. This is the real start of having a 5-man world title match at Mania.
Randy, Cody, Jacob,
Drew, and I don't know.
Sammy.
LA Knight, Sammy. I don't know.
Everyone that was in this chamber.
Which,
except for Logan Paul.
Trick Williams and Siobhan Evans won't be in it. So here's the problem. If the world title match, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton, isn't a thing, which I think could be a great match, and I'm actually really, really excited to see it. But if Cody gets added to this, and Jacob Fatu gets added to this, and others get added to this, just defend the world title in the chamber, man.
That's what I'm saying.
They used to defend world titles in the chamber. It wasn't always a number one contender match. Change it up, because this doesn't work for me. Now, maybe I'm just speculating too hard, but if it's not Orton versus Drew, and I see how that happens when you have Drew put himself in here, he takes Cody out, they both jump Drew, Cody gets RKO'd, pinned, and it's over. Because of that outside interference, I see how you get there in that way, that he was robbed. But this match doesn't matter now. It matters less than it did coming in. There was no build for this match. There was no heat in this match. You added Logan Paul in the last second and got all. You didn't rewrite the match. You just gave him the big Bronson Reed spots, which actually made more sense, even though I did like that Logan Paul did it. But Bronson Reed taking these guys out, it's very much more impactful. And now you're building a monster. You didn't build a monster with Logan Paul. You built somebody who was kind of getting lucky and stealing pins, which fits his character perfectly. But that's not really what you were looking for. If it's not just a one-on-one match at Mania, this makes no sense whatsoever. And I can't get over it.
So someone brought this one up, and dear God help me if this is what happens. Cody is supposed to wrestle Drew like this week or something like that, isn't that? Like, isn't that what's happening?
I did hear that,
and I think it's for the title. And if Cody wins, is that how we've worked our way to Cody versus Randy at Mania?
But like,
and I don't like it. I don't like it. You know what it is I'm gonna change him from Vice President Rhodes. So Cody Rahim Maivia over here it's the same thing as Rocky, man. Like it's Cody is now getting shoved down our throats at this point, and I kind of said that this could happen about a year ago, and now it is happening. It's too much. Cody is just, I don't know, maybe I just was never that big of a Cody fan to begin with, but he never came off as a real babyface to me. He always seemed like he was a bit of a politician. Again, we always sided with Kevin Owens because Kevin was right.
Kevin was right.
And now who's to say? I want to know who is just taking out random people behind the scenes. Again, who took out Jay? Who took out... Because I don't think it was Jacob, and I don't think it was Sammy, and I don't think Sammy took out Jacob in the beginning. I don't think it was Drew. That's too much of a, well, we're going to tell you this is what it was and just hand it to you. If they really wanted to do this well, they could rehash this story, because it's been long enough where most of the fan base is young enough that they don't remember it happening. But they could do the whole, like, Cody, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And then you show...
I did it for The Rock.
Yeah, or like you show the backstage footage. Finally, you see a camera angle, and it's like they depixelated or whatever. And then you see Cody's face, and he just smiles. And and what's more is Cody's a huge Triple H fan. Triple H is the one that did this storyline originally with Shawn Michaels. It would make great sense, especially if it's something where, like, if you're going to somehow add Cody to this match, or you're going to take Drew out of this match, if someone just magically threw Randy Orton through, like, a car window or something like that, like that would make sense for me. Like, all of a sudden, okay, yeah, Cody's... I don't even want him to be Homelander Cody. I want him to just be a piece of shit
himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raheem. I don't like any of it. I don't like the way where it's going. It feels so reactionary. I think Drew is a fantastic world champion. I want him to stay champion. I want him to retain at Mania. I wanted him versus Roman and him to retain.
I know.
That's what the match should be. And really build him up as the next superstar, because he can be. The only thing that's stopping him from being, it's not the mic skills, it's not the talent, it's the dedication to elevating him to that level, and like never really being in on Drew. And in one of those things, I never talk about how I want to see someone from WWE to go to AEW, but if they do that to him, I want Drew to go to AEW, because he'll go over there and he will be a star. He will be the guy. Like and he deserves to be the guy here with a bunch of other guys. Like, I don't expect him to have a dominant run. I'm not looking for a Roman run where he has the title for 5 years.
No, but if he
I'm not going down that route.
No, but him having the title for 6 months or so is
6 months. Maybe have him retain it till Mania next year. And it wasn't just a fluke, and he loses it to Sammy. Him losing it to Sammy in Saudi makes complete sense. Like, the history that those guys have, like the build that you can get to it.
Sammy's never beaten him. That whole storyline going in.
It makes sure, and honest, that's not pre-planned, as you guys saw, like the glass crash behind my eyes. Like, that's the story I want to see. I want to see Drew go on a tear for the next year and a half with this title, and then Sammy beats him in Saudi. It's perfect. And then Sammy loses it the next day.
Well,
sucker.
Well, there you have it. That's how they should book it. By the way, Uncle Paul, we are still available. We will sell out.
Yeah. And yeah, that's fine. I will. You need help. Even before, like, now I think you need help. It's just frustrating. Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, my light keeps going off.
You keep losing your light. It's funny because I almost want it to, like, go on every time you have a good idea. Like, so that, like, the light bulb goes on over your head, but, like, that just doesn't seem to be happening. I feel like that's it, man. Like that's just where we're at with this.
This, you know, WWE winning the worst promotion this year, it's fitting. No, I don't want to be that big of a downer, but I look back at the predictions and we've done this before. These PLEs have not been great.
No, and I'll say this. So I'll play the devil's advocate side of this. I'll play the other side of this.
AEW's been way better.
Their pay-per-views have definitely been better. But I will say this. WWE winning worst promotion of the year and AEW getting best promotion of the year doesn't mean that the entirety of wrestling right now isn't just not great. Like we are definitely in the downside of things. We like you say it all the time, ebbs and flows, but we're in an ebb right now, and this is not it's not flowing on any aspect. Even we were so big on TNA for a while, and TNA even isn't performing like they used to.
Do you know what happened to TNA?
WWE, TKO. No, I get it, but like even their stuff, it's just not like they switched up all of their stuff to be a little bit more diet WWE, diet TKO, and then AEW doubled down on all the stuff that the 80% of the general audience didn't want to see. So,
well, they've done a good job recently. I think that they just need Will Ospreay back. That place is just going to take. It's going to lose it.
Who knows what version of Will we get though?
I know, because he didn't listen to us. He said, "Shut up and enjoy it." And exactly what we said was going to happen. Which is fine. It's his body. He can do what he wants. But now that we're on a WWE review show and purposely changing the subject to AEW, I think that brings us to the end of the show.
I agree.
Thank you all for us. Please tell us why you thought this was the best Elimination Chamber of all times and how wrong we are. I really want to see somebody make that case. Thank you all for all your support. Please like, subscribe, share the video, tell a friend. If you don't have any friends, tell a stranger. And Steven,
as always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.